You know, I never felt that this is a position dangerous for me.
She speaks multiple languages, handles weapons like a pro, dances, and even flies planes. She's an enigma, playing roles in movies and displaying various talents that leave many wondering if she's more than just an athlete. This is Valentina Shevchenko, hailed as one of the most dangerous women on the planet. But even the mighty fall, and the greatest women's flyweight champion of all time has been on a losing skid, with many people asking what happened to Valentina Shevchenko.
I can say that all my life I'm in martial arts.
But before we break down what happened, let's trace back her roots for context on this great MMA fighter and how she began her fighting career. Born in 1988, Valentina's roots intertwined with the fabric of the Soviet Union. She was born in Kyrgyzstan, which was not an independent state at the time and was a part of the Soviet Union. At that time, karate was forbidden in the Soviet Union, but still Valentina's mother defied the odds, secretly training her daughters in karate and nurturing them into formidable fighters who could defend themselves in any situation. Despite the odds, Valentina and her sister Antonia embarked on a journey fueled by their mother's vision and Coach Pavel's guidance.
Power, woman power, it's about our family. We are very strong girls.
Coach Pavel played a significant role in their career as anyone else, training with the sisters for over 2 decades. So the great fighter that we know today started her days learning a sport that was actually illegal in her state. But nevertheless, her journey continued and took her across borders, competing in Russia, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, seeking new challenges. When we look at Valentina and see how she has excelled everywhere she's tried her hand, she reminds us of a real-life James Bond. From her degree in film directing to her incredible dance moves and shooting accuracy, she can quite literally do it all.
My favorite character is the James Bond character.
My favorite character, it's the James Bond character because it's a person who knows everything. He can drive a car, drive a motor, sail a boat, fly a helicopter, plane. He can shoot, he can dance, everything. And this is an idea of universal style. James Bond, he's a universal person. That's why in my life, I try to learn something more every time. But her career didn't start as a mixed martial artist. Instead, she started off as a Muay Thai fighter. So how did she fare in Muay Thai? Well, from 2003 to 2015, she managed to win over 90 matches collectively in K1, Muay Thai, and kickboxing was considered one of the best female Muay Thai fighters of her time. During her Muay Thai career, Valentina would just ragdoll her opponents. And this wasn't like she was facing nobodies. She even faced Joanna Jędrzejczyk, not once, but 3 times, and defeated her every time. In the world of Muay Thai, Valentina's success knew no bounds. She became a world champion multiple times, cementing her status as one of the greatest athletes.
My name is Valentina Shevchenko. I'm 16 times world champion.
With 25 world titles between both sisters, their success is unparalleled in Muay Thai. But Muay Thai was just the beginning. Valentina's journey took a dramatic turn when she received an opportunity that would change everything. A chance to compete in the UFC. She was even called to face UFC veteran Sarah Kaufman at 2 weeks' notice. So naturally, the bullet accepted, and so began her journey in the UFC. But the road to UFC glory had its obstacles. In Muay Thai, Valentina was in the 125-pound weight class, which was her natural weight. Back in 2015, that weight class did not exist in the UFC. So Valentina was forced to compete at 135 against bigger opponents. For her second fight, the UFC put Valentina in a cage with the lioness, Amanda Nunes. Amanda would defeat Valentina on all 3 judges' scorecards, but it would not be the last time that she'd face Valentina.
If we are speaking about 135, Amanda, I think she's just like bigger than anyone, bigger.
Despite facing much larger opponents and losing her second fight in the UFC, Valentina proved her mettle, earning her place among the elite fighters in the UFC when she defeated both Juliana Pena and Holly Holm. Her impressive victories earned her a rematch against Amanda Nunes, but this time for the title. With determination in her heart and her eyes set on the championship, Valentina prepared for the fight of her life. After a grueling battle against Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko found herself on the wrong side of a split decision. The outcome of that fight was so razor close that it is still being debated to this day. While the controversy surrounding the fight lingered, the tide was about to turn in Valentina's favor. In December 2017, the UFC introduced the women's 125-pound weight division, a weight class that was ideally suited for Valentina. This was the weight class where Valentina would do her best work, and the stage was set for her to make history in the UFC. With her eyes set on the flyweight title, Valentina faced a similar adversary in Joanna Jędrzejczyk for a chance to be the inaugural flyweight champion of the world.
There is no way that I will leave this city without the belt. No.
The fight was very competitive, but Valentina showcased how the era of the bullet had started as she edged out a unanimous decision victory to begin her reign of terror over the division.
Valentina Bullet Shevchenko!
Valentina would go on to defend her title 7 times, with some of the most vicious knockouts that you will ever see. Her head kick knockout of Jessica Ai is still one of the most jaw-dropping head kick knockouts that we have seen inside the octagon. With every fight, she continued to dominate. It seemed like it would take a Herculean effort to dethrone her. But as Valentina continued defending her title, her opponents grew more and more formidable, making each title defense more challenging than the last. This all came to a close at UFC 285 when she made the walk for what would be her 8th defense of the title. But in an upset of the year, the challenger Alexa Grasso would take her down and choke her out in the 4th round to become the only woman other than Amanda Nunes to defeat her in the UFC.
Oh, that's tight. This is so tight. That's really tight. I think she got it. Oh, she got it.
All of this signaled an end to her reign of terror. To prove the doubters wrong, Valentina trained tirelessly at the Tiger Muay Thai gym in Thailand to prepare for her rematch with Alexa Grasso. Determined to reclaim her throne, she put in a valiant effort, but the rematch ended in a draw, leaving Valentina back at square one. The fight and the decision were controversial, with many, including Valentina, calling favoritism for Grasso by the judges.
Judges, I think, felt a little bit like pressure because it's kind of like Mexican Independence Day. She's a Mexican fighter.
Many people thought that Valentina had won, with even Dana White claiming the 10-8 score in the 5th round to be the craziest thing that he had ever seen.
When I found out that one of the judges scored 10-8, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And
adding to the frustration were illegal strikes that Valentina believes affected the fight's outcome. We later found out that she even suffered a fractured thumb early on in the fight. Despite the injury affecting her performance throughout, she still gave Alexa Grasso a run for her money. But with all the controversy surrounding the decision, running the fight back for a 3rd time, it made sense. However, with Valentina's thumb injury, the chance to run back the fight immediately was off the table. Only recently, UFC President Dana White revealed that Season 32 of The Ultimate Fighter would feature Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko as coaches. Set to premiere on June 4th, 2024, this season promises to answer many unanswered questions. Is Valentina Shevchenko done? Is her reign at the top of the flyweight division over? Over the years, the show has seen legendary coaches like Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate blaze a trail for female fighters. Now, it's Grasso and Shevchenko's turn to take the reins, adding their names to the esteemed list of tough coaches. With The Ultimate Fighter, fans will finally have the opportunity to witness Grasso and Shevchenko's rivalry up close and personal and see if there are any signs of decline. Shevchenko remains determined to prove that she is still the same dominant force that ruled the flyweight division for years. All doubts about her decline and her losing streak will be put to bed once the two finally lock horns for the 3rd time in a match that holds more significance for Valentina than just regaining her belt. She has to prove how she is the same fighter and how she hasn't lost a step from her years-long reign of dominance over the flyweights. Regardless of the outcome, Valentina Shevchenko has already solidified her place as the greatest women's flyweight fighter of all time. Even if her first loss to Grasso marked her career downfall, her legacy is still set in stone, and she is destined for the Hall of Fame, just like her contemporaries Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Amanda Nunes.